Welcome. I'm Kinetic Symphony. I hunt down and report on mysterious and weird true stories, from glitches to the paranormal. Case file number 152, written by PenguinAreCake. A day with her sister filled with shopping and ice cream, but did it happen? It's nearly 1 a.m. and I've been scrolling through these posts for a while now, and some of them are truly captivating, and it triggered an experience that I haven't thought about in over a year. I thought I'd share, as I think it fits the brief. This happened when I, male 23, and my sister, female 34, were 13 and 23 respectively. Saturday morning, I woke up at about 10 a.m.-ish. My mom cooked me some breakfast, Scotch pancakes, and we watched an episode of Lost together, while my brother stayed upstairs playing on his PS3, probably FIFA. Around 11:30 a.m., my sister called me and asked me if I wanted to meet her at a local shopping center to buy some clothes and just generally have a walk around and have something to eat. I wasn't doing anything and my friends weren't playing out, so I decided to meet her. She took a taxi there and I walked there as it's pretty close to me, or was at the time. We had a generally good time. I didn't end up buying any clothes, my sister did though. We had a meal at a cafe about 1 p.m. and got an ice cream each afterwards, where you buy a cone and go make it yourself from the machine. Although I broke the machine pin on the lever and got a bit upset because I thought I was going to be made to pay for this, but the manager came over and said it's happened a few times, no biggie. We went to Mr. Sims, which is an old-fashioned sweet shop, and bought some sweets, weighed them up and paid for them. Going home, my sister ordered a taxi, but this time I got in. The taxi dropped me off at home, and she stayed in and went home. She was living with her friend at the time. So it was a generally good day. I played some FIFA with my brother when I got home, ended up having a bit of an argument with him, then made up, had some supper in the evening and watched Saturday Night Takeaway, and your generic Saturday TV. All in all, a pretty normal and uneventful day. Except, this day didn't happen. At least not to anyone but me and my sister. I mentioned me breaking the ice cream machine to my mom. She thought I was joking. I explained that at the cafe today. When we had food, I broke the pin on the lever. I'll never forget the way she looked at me. She looked worried, but slightly questioning, waiting for me to say I'm joking. She said I left the house once today, and it was to go to the chip shop to bring back egg fried rice and curry for me, my brother, and my mom. And it took about 15 minutes. At no point did I leave for hours, and when I did leave, it was about 2 p.m. I remember calling my sister, panicking at this point and needing to prove that I did actually go and meet her. She answered, slightly sleepy by this point, as it was about 11 p.m. before this conversation occurred, and asked her what we did today, on loudspeaker. She went through the exact same story I just told my mom, including the ice cream machine, including what she bought, and including what sweets I got from Mr. Sims. At this point, I ran up to my mom and brought up the remaining sweets down to prove that I bought these today and went to the shopping center. My mom at this point had tears in her eyes, hoping I guessed that this was some prank me and my sister had conjured up. Me and my sister agreed to talk about it tomorrow, but texted me afterwards asking if mom's alright. I said yeah, and if she's not, neither is my brother because he's promising me that at the time I say I was out, he was playing FIFA with me in his room. Tomorrow comes and my sister calls me in a panic, claiming that her boss sent her home from work because she got called in yesterday instead. She said that her boss said he called her yesterday morning and asked to cover someone's shift, and she can have Sunday off, essentially just swapping a shift, which she agreed to. She said she didn't push him too much because she didn't want him to think she was mental and lose her job. To this day, our mom, brother, and even my sister's now ex roommate are wholeheartedly convinced that the day me and my sister spent together didn't happen. She no longer has contact with her old boss, but he paid her for the Saturday despite not working Sunday, and me and my sister can recall tiny details to each other about the day we had. Over the years, this has generally drifted into the background, but sometimes it gets brought up now and again. It has become something that's almost taboo to talk about in our family because of the issues it caused around the time. This turned out to be a lot longer than I expected, but never had the opportunity to share this in a place where it actually seems to fit. Edit. I did reply to one commenter saying that this hasn't happened since, but the mention of timelines got me thinking into one specific instance that also happened, in very similar circumstances, again with my sister. It was so short and seemingly insignificant in comparison to this one that I don't think about it often, but it would definitely fit into the glitch in the Matrix genre, so I might end up posting that one for you guys if anyone's interested. I have to speak to my sister first to get an updated account, though I don't want to end up misrepresenting her account because it heavily relies on that too. It's almost as if, for a few seconds, we both had a glimpse into the past. Nothing major, no major events. Just a small glimpse into a world before the one we live in. It was chilling. Maybe not so much as this one, but probably relevant to the sub. Case notes, file number 152. So I've been reading glitch and paranormal stories for years now, but I'm baffled by this account. At first glance, if this happened only to you, I'd just chalk this up to a crossover event to another universe. Happens quite frequently if you die in the originating universe, as we all know now as quantum immortality. Of course, the physical you doesn't move, the body, but the spirit does, the consciousness. But could that be the explanation here, given your sister clearly would have come from the same universe at the same time? You both crossed over? I've never heard of a tandem synchronicity when moving between universes. So basically, I'm either at a complete loss, or this simple, for the glitch initiated, explanation is mind-blowing in that it shows that more than one person can join the other in this type of involuntary travel. We should all keep an eye out for any other chroniclings of this duo-type crossing, because if more than one person can cross over at the same time, then maybe entire groups can. Case file number 153, written by Tiny Whale Shark 69. A man down on his luck asking for help. But wait, where did he go? So I stumbled across this sub just a couple weeks ago, and I think that this may qualify after reading many of these posts. It's something I've never forgotten about since it happened, even though it was many years ago. To this day, I wonder if I was tested and failed. This happened quite a while ago, circa 2002. I was in the military at the time, stationed in Norfolk, Virginia. In those days, we all used to mob to a bar called Greenie's that was near the beach that was right outside the back gate of the base. My memory is a little cloudy concerning the geographical location of where everything was because it was so long ago, but I remember there being a gas station right near the bar where we would frequently stop to grab snacks and drinks and beer, etc. One night as we were leaving the bar, we decided to stop and grab some junk food before heading back to a buddy's house. I had a pocket full of money because we'd just gotten paid. We pulled into that same gas station, and as I was getting out, I saw a rough-looking homeless man standing right by the door to the gas station. As I was walking in, he said, "Excuse me, young man, I'm hungry. Could you please spare $1?" I walked past him and replied, "I don't have any money, man." And I walked in the store. I specifically remember this because I knew that I had a pocket full of cash. As soon as I entered the store, I had this overpowering urge to turn back around and give the guy what he asked for. I thought this odd because I never, ever give panhandlers money. I turned around to walk back out of the store and give the homeless guy money, and he was gone. Maybe 3 or 5 seconds had elapsed from the time I walked past him to the time I turned around. The front of the store was lit up and wide open, and the parking lot was open and lit up with nowhere for anyone to possibly hide in that short of a time. The left of the store as you were walking out was connected to another building, so you couldn't even walk that way, and to the right was more of that same open parking lot. No dumpster, nothing. Dude had literally vanished. I walked back in with this horrible feeling that I had somehow just fucked up. It was hard to explain how weirded out I already was. And then to make matters worse, I told my buddy, "Man, I should have given that old boy $1." He had absolutely no idea what I was talking about. He told me there was nobody outside the store when we walked in, and just kind of dismissed what I was saying. That was almost 20 years ago, and I've never forgotten it to this day. If I see a panhandler that looks like they really are struggling, I throw them whatever I have in my pockets that's loose. To this day, I wonder if an angel asked me for a favor, and I totally turned them down. And I'm not even a religious person. Case notes, file number 153. This reminds me of the Lady of the Lake test, where a person's character is weighed through an act of charity to the homeless. Of course, failing this test doesn't impart any penalties. I don't think you're cursed or anything of that nature. If it was an angel, I think directly passing this test would bestow upon the person a greater appreciation of life and its treasures, in the form of appreciating human connections. But on that line, I think in a way you did pass, because you corrected your thinking and almost immediately wanted to turn back to help the man. Perhaps then it wasn't a test at all, but an opportunity, a lesson. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like, and leave any thoughts you might have down below. I always like knowing what you guys think too.